Before this video gets underway, I just have to give my plea out to the hockey gods. Please, please, please let Matt Dumba play! Please, I need this. I'm so down in fantasy, bro. Please play tonight. He's been so good in this entire stint that I've had him. Okay, disregard that game, but he's been good. Please play Matt Dumba. Now, we do have ourselves, speaking of guys that may be sitting out of their games due to trade-related reasons, a very interesting update with the Carolina Hurricanes, because Chris Johnston, earlier this morning, tweeted out, at this stage, the Carolina Hurricanes' decision to place Tony DeAngelo, Brendan Lemieux, and Antti Ranta on waivers is just about flexibility. They might be more attractive trade pieces to other teams if they clear, and they can still be sent down to the AHL if needed for another trade. So, when we saw this go down earlier today, hey, wait a minute, the Hurricanes are sending 3 guys down. They're making up a lot of space. They're opening up room on their roster. What could be happening here? And then we had the news earlier this hour that Michael Bunting is scratched tonight for the Carolina Hurricanes. There is word he will be traded to Pittsburgh as a part of a deal for Jake Guentzel. And this took over the hockey world. Here is the Pierre LeBrun tweet. The Hurricanes have been pushing hard with Pittsburgh on Guentzel. It would make sense that Bunting would be a part of that package if Carolina can get a deal done with the Penguins across the finish line. Now, there also was this tweet right here. I'm hearing that the Hurricanes and the Penguins are very close to a Guentzel trade, but there are still some details to work through. Bunting is a part of the package. Both teams are playing tonight, which also may complicate timing to some degree. But all signs are pointing to Guentzel going to Carolina. Scroll up a little bit more, and you can see some more of the same tweets over here. Again, to be clear, Pierre LeBrun reiterates, the Guentzel trade is not quite done yet. Both teams are playing tonight, and there are some final details to be ironed out. It sounds like a post-game trade call with the league, but all signs are pointing to Guentzel heading to the Hurricanes. My wife left me, and so did Jake Guentzel. That's kind of funny. Top tweet over here from Frank Saravelli. My understanding between the Penguins and the Hurricanes, they have agreed to the basic framework of a deal that will send Guentzel to Carolina. There's work to do, but we're well down the track. Carolina isn't typically a player in rental market, but they love the fit, and they feel they'd have a solid chance at re-signing him. Hi, Frank. What about Sidney Crosby to Vancouver? Okay, yeah, sorry, quads, but we'll talk about that another day. This seems to be the update here, that one, Jake Guentzel is going over to the Carolina Hurricanes in some sort of a package involving Michael Bunting coming back. Now, Lego, why are you making this video now? Why don't you just wait until later in the afternoon and the evening when we'll have the trade return and everything finalized? Well, I kinda, don't really care. Not gonna lie. I mean, this entire thing is like the meat and potatoes of the trade. Anyway, Guentzel going over to Carolina, Michael Bunting going over to Pittsburgh. There will be some extra assets involved. Like, there will be another prospect or two. There may be a pick or whatever. But I wanted to talk about this basic idea first, because just Bunting going over to Pittsburgh, that right there is Kyle freaking Dubas doing what Kyle freaking Dubas does. Staying loyal to his guys, loving his guys, and bringing back all of his players. We had been talking about the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds connection with the Toronto Maple Leafs with Kyle Dubas for years. And now, in Pittsburgh, establishing a new team with a new core, he's bringing in Michael Bunting to be the guy. And we all recognize that Kyle Dubas was pretty much the guy to give Bunting his first opportunity as an NHL pro. He had a season with the Arizona Coyotes in 2020-2021, 21 games played, but he did not play the amount of games required to classify him as a fully played prospect, which is why his first season in Toronto was technically his rookie year. 2021-2022, he was a million years old at that point, but he had 63 points in 79 games played. Kyle Dubas signed him. He was good. He had 49 points the next year, and now he's got 36 points in 60 Carolina Hurricanes games. So, for Michael Bunting, of course, we recognize that he wasn't really going to be able to stick around in Toronto for that cap hit. But now, going over to Pittsburgh, Kyle Dubas is doing what Kyle Dubas probably would have wanted to do a few years ago as a member of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Get Michael Bunting on for a few more years. He is expiring, or his contract expires, at the end of 2025-2026 at 4.5 mil. If you get yourselves a guy who gets 60 points a year, that's a very good contract for $4.5 million. But right now, Bunting is on pace for about 50 points. That's all right for the 4.5 mil price tag. I'd say that 60-70 is a lot better, but still, if Michael Bunting is playing with Sidney Crosby, I don't want to say that things are guaranteed, but we all remember how good Chris Kunitz was when he suited up on 87's wings, so who really knows what's going to happen there? But we also did hear some reports earlier saying that if Guentzel does get traded, Sidney Crosby probably would not like that a lot. He'd be pretty disappointed, but hey, nevertheless, it seems like this is going to be the case here with Jake Guentzel, a point-per-game guy who is just so consistent, so good every single year. His contract expires at the end of this season, and he'll probably make his way over to the Carolina freaking Hurricanes, where they already boast a pretty good team themselves, and you know, you talk about the way they play, you talk about the pace, you talk about the offensive skill, the talent, the flexibility there. You've got Teravainen, Svechnikov, Natchez, Jarvis, and Sebastian Aho. Adding Jake Guentzel will make this top six insane, if it wasn't already insane with Michael Bunting in that top role. Not to mention the depth guys going out there and still scoring too. Nason, Drury, Jordan Martinook, and Jordan Staal all are getting points this season. Jesperi Kotkaniemi is still disappointing, but he's still here as well. The Carolina Hurricanes are going to be scary, and after this move, sending all these guys down on waivers to open up that roster space, it seems like Jake Guentzel is going to be that guy to come over and fill the void. Everybody's talking about it now. Saravalli, LeBrun, Elliot Friedman, it seems like Michael Bunting and Jake Guentzel are going to be swapped for each other. Jay Fresh went out there and tweeted this: Jake Guentzel, acquired by Carolina, is a high-end scoring winger who uses superb hockey IQ to create space and get pucks to high-danger areas by shooting or passing. He's a very poor defensive player, but he manages the puck well. Finishing hasn't really been his specialty lately. And his number of wins above replacement is at 73%, which is pretty low considering the fact that he is like at a point per game right now, but then again, his defense isn't really that great. And then if you talk about the other card here, I love Jake Guentzel. He's the best winger Sidney Crosby has ever had, a beast in the playoffs, one of the smartest players I've ever seen on the Penguins, an incredibly versatile player who should be electric on Carolina's extended puck possessions. Assuming they can insulate and improve the defense, this should be great. And so, with this in mind, the Carolina Hurricanes are getting themselves a very, very good piece. The Carolina Hurricanes, I mean, at least it's not Vegas, right? At the very least, it's not freaking Vegas. It is very interesting, though, seeing that this trade is being done interdivisionally, pretty much, right? Like, imagine the Penguins and Kyle Dubas sending Guentzel to a division rival. That's gonna be nuts, eh? And I guess for Michael Bunting going over to Pittsburgh, this is just Kyle Dubas staying committed to his guys, and I will not live that down. Dubas is just doing what it is that he wants to do to get all the people he's comfortable with and bringing them back into whatever organization it is that he is a part of, whether that is Toronto or that is Pittsburgh. So if you're a Pens fan or a Canes fan, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the basic framework idea of a Bunting for Guentzel trade. This is not going to be it. There probably will be some other prospects and picks attached to it that Pittsburgh is going to get. Guentzel is the better player after all. But for now, just on this basic idea alone, Bunting for Guentzel, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. If there's anything else that you think Pens fans or Canes fans we need to discuss in regards to this trade, then let me know your thoughts in the comments. You guys have a game to watch later on today. Carolina's playing off against, I believe it's Montreal, is it? Yeah, I think it is Montreal, but once that game is over, we'll probably get ourselves the trade calls. So thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.